O3 just dropped, and people are claiming it'll replace Perplexity. People are claiming it's AGI, and skeptics are saying it's a fraud. In today's video, I will dive deeper into these claims and some impressive features O3 can do. I wanted to start off with the claim of AGI. Here is a blog written by Ethan Mollick, who is a professor of Wharton, who has a pretty large following on Twitter. So the title is On Jagged AGI, O3, Gemini 2.5, and everything after. So he talks about how we can't really measure how smart these systems are because these tests were made for humans and not artificial intelligence. And he wrote a paper on some of these prompting techniques, and based on the prompt, the test can change dramatically. So that's why these benchmarks may not be reliable, because someone may use like a suboptimal prompt to prompt the AI, resulting in an inaccurate benchmark. So Ethan goes on to say AGI is badly defined and nobody really has the correct definition of it. I'm going to skip down some. I'll put this link in the description though. He mentions that Tyler Cowen thinks O3 is AGI, who's an influential economicist, and Ethan is determined to find out why he thinks that. He talks about how Gemini 2.5 Pro and O3 is a major leap in benchmarks, and as you can see, O4 Mini did really well. O3 didn't do so well, but I'm going to go into that later in this video. But he mentions that benchmarks aren't really everything, as Tyler also points out, and he performs a test to show how far these models have come. So he goes through an example of how ChatGPT performed a year ago when he asked it to generate a clever marketing cheese shop slogan, and it gave super basic slogans. With O3, he gave a similar prompt with a single prompt in less than 2 minutes. The AI not only provided a list of slogans, but ranked and selected an option, did web research, developed a logo, built marketing and financial plans, and launched a demo website for me to react to. The fact that my instructions were vague and common sense was required to make decisions about how to address them, and it was not a barrier. So he goes on to talk about jagged AGI. And that's basically when AI has surprisingly uneven abilities. An AI may succeed at a task that would challenge a human expert, but fail at something incredibly mundane, which is the example he gives down here. So basically, the AI was already trained on a similar prompt to this, and it kind of just glances over it and it messes it up. So he goes on to say that AI often messes up this particular brain teaser, does not take away from the fact that it can solve much harder brain teasers, as we can see here for this Enigma eval. So O3 medium scores well above for mini, O Pro 1, etc. And this is a benchmark that requires AI to solve complex puzzles involving math and logical reasoning. So in conclusion, jagged AGI is what we have now, and this is basically where it can mess up some simple tasks, but also perform superhuman tasks even if the AI isn't trained on the task, as we have shown in the Enigma eval benchmark. And this matters because it's superhuman in enough areas to result in some real change. So I want to address what Gary Marcus said about O3, saying it's pretty much a fraud or bogus. He said, looks like 25% on O3 allegedly got on Frontier Math in December was possibly bogus. So you see here, O3 is about like 10%, not 25%, which was back in December. So the ARC Prize team, they addressed this, and the reason why it's not 25% is because the compute tier is smaller than the version that they tested. Simon writes that AI search back in 2023 wasn't good with Perplexity, as it often hallucinated results, and these search AI tools started to become more accurate, with O3 and O4 Mini significantly improving search functionality. So these models can run searches as part of the chain of thought reasoning process they use before producing the final answer. This means while it's thinking, it's searching to determine if its thought process is valid, which reduces errors because the AI is self-checking itself through search. Perplexity standalone free version doesn't do this, which can result in inaccurate information. He also mentions he hasn't seen a hallucination yet, whereas Perplexity often makes hallucinations. In addition to hallucinations, he says that Perplexity is also more verbose, whereas O3 feels like talking to a deep research tool in real time without having to wait for several minutes for it to produce an overly verbose report. And we know that Perplexity prioritizes verbosity when prompted, which isn't a good thing. Pliny the Liberator is someone who jailbreaks AIs on Twitter to give it an unfiltered version of what the AI is actually thinking. In this post, Pliny the Liberator jailbreaked Perplexity to reveal internal dialogue of Perplexity deep research tool, where it said it prioritizes verbosity, ensuring no relevant subtopic is overlooked. The report should be at least 10,000 words. So this is something that Pliny didn't prompt, but got the leak from Perplexity on its own prompt it uses.